In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. On the internet, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the A-Team.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Everybody. Please say you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I had to go switch to my phone. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat, please. Good. Because my repairman is coming out today. Praise God. My repairman is coming out and to fix my cable. I don't know. Ever since we had that tornado, it's been acting funny. But yeah, I want to do something very, very serious. He is charged with racketeering, taking somebody out of state for prostitution, and forcing them by physical force or threats to commit prostitution. He is going to jail for a very, very long time. One of his charges carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years all the way up to life. So he's facing, at the very minimum, if he's convicted, 15 years to life, if he's convicted. It's not looking good for him. The federal government is asking for a bond They don't want him to have a bond. His attorneys are offering a bond of $50,000 where he'll put up his house in Miami as collateral, and he'll be under confinement. His attorneys have seized all of his passport and family members' passport, but the prosecution is still saying he's a flight risk because even if he don't have a passport, he has the financial means to charter a plane and go to a country with no extradition and never come back, kind of like Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons lives in Bali, and he will not come back in the United States because he's facing a lot of SA charges and civil suits if he comes back. So he's never coming back here. So they're thinking that he'll try to do the same thing. He is facing some serious. I can't stress how serious it is. He's facing serious jail time. He's facing some serious behind jail time. And that they still investigating that Tupac murder. And the family of Porter, the young lady he had kids by, her family is requesting the case be opened up and take another look at it because they've always said over the years that they think he had something to do with her death. They feel that she was murdered. She didn't die from illness. They figure she was murdered because she was about to write a tell-all book. And so he spent the night in jail. We got a bond hearing. Prosecution is asking for no bond action, that he be held. His lawyer trying to get them to give him a $50 million bond. Other words, put his mansion up in Miami as collateral and have him on house arrest. But with all these charges, CNN experts said that it's a good possibility he'll get bond. But then other people are thinking he shouldn't get bond because he's a threat to society. When they went up in his house, yep, Pastor, that's a very good possibility. And I'm about to talk to that in a few seconds. But when they went in this joker's house, y'all, they confiscated 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubrication. Countless videos and hard drives. And then don't forget about the fact that he's on video beating that woman up. It's crazy. Oh, he gonna tell Sweet Pea. He gonna tell on somebody. He gonna tell on somebody up above him, and then that's when he gonna come up in that jail cell like Epstein. But Patsy, what you were talking about, other people getting arrested, they've already struck plea deals. Remember the white kid that got busted in his mansion? That kid is from here. He's from Cleveland area. And he already said that the drugs that they found on him, those are Diddy's drugs. He was Diddy's drug mule. So he's already turning state's evidence. Well, evidence for the federal government. He's already struck a deal. He ain't going to prison. He's telling everything he knows. And there's a lot of people gonna flip over on Diddy. That's why this indictment, he was arrested today. He's the only person on the arrest warrant and the indictment. Nobody else is even been considered. So he already know what he's facing. He's in big trouble. Jacqueline, if they catch him before he get on the plane take off, yeah. But if that plane get in the air and he gets 12 miles offshore, he's in international waters at that point. And they're not gonna have the Coast Guard and the military go up and try to shoot him out the air. None of that foolishness. But here's the thing: any pilot that flies them out the country, they're gonna lose their pilot license. But if he flies to a country, he escapes the country, and he goes to a country that has no extradition, they can't do nothing to him. He gone. He just can't never come back to the United States ever again in life. Um, so that's where that stands. But yeah, that's why the federal government says they don't want him to have a bond, because he has the financial means to escape. Like, let's say he went to Venezuela, doesn't have extradition with the United States. If he made it to Venezuela, they can't make him come back. Or if he went to trying to think of some countries besides Venezuela that don't have extradition. But I know Venezuela for one. Heck, I'm thinking at one time Cuba, because black people, like the Black Panther guy, he went to Cuba for many years and didn't come back. Um, yeah, but if he gets to one of those countries with no extradition or one of these islands, that's it. But they're not letting him out of their jail cell, I don't think. And if they do, he's gonna have on an ankle monitor. He's gonna be on. Not only is he gonna have an ankle monitor on, he's gonna be on a house arrest. And they already got his passports. But the passport don't mean nothing. Passports mean something to you and me. He's rich. He got a private jet. All he got to do is just gas up and go. Gas up and go. He got a jet that can fly down into Central America somewhere and never be seen or heard from again. I'm frozen. I'm frozen. Okay. Because I think you're the only one did that. You might have had to go out and come back in. But he has the financial means to escape and never be seen and heard from again. If he gets on a plane in the middle of the night or early in the morning, whenever he decides to take off, and he break out and run, and he gets up in the international waters, 12 miles outside of anywhere in the United States, if he gets 12 miles out, he's in international waters. Then it becomes a matter of whatever. And he make it to one of them countries with no extradition, this is a done deal. Okay, thank you. Spain, Switzerland, Iceland. He ain't going to Iceland. Switzerland. I can see him going to Spain. He ain't going to Zimbabwe, because he might come up missing, because they're in turmoil down there. But I can see him going to, but Spain could detain him. Venezuela or somewhere like that, I can see that happening. But yeah, I don't see him flying away. Because truth be told, if he gets convicted and on them charges, that's pretty much a life sentence. Even if they gave him, like say, we giving you 30 years or whatever the case may be. At his age, he's my age. We're the same age. So average life expectancy is 75 years. So anything he gets over 20 years in prison, he pretty much dead. He gonna spend the rest of it, he gonna die in prison for the most part. He pretty much stuck wherever he go. But I'm tripping on the fact that when they went in his house, I'm gonna read the indictment later today, because it's gonna list everything. They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubrication in his house during the raid. Kim Porter family asking for her death to be looked into, open that investigation back up. They don't believe she died of natural causes or sick. They believe she was killed because her body had bruises on it. They believe she was beat to death. They've always said Diddy had something to do with it. You got this lady with the singing group, Danny DeCane. She's come out and said what she's seen him do, what she experienced. You know, everybody has come out and said something about Diddy except for J-Lo. Yeah, the feds don't want him to have a bond because they say he's a flight risk and he's a threat to the community because he's violent. He's charged with violent charges, forcing women to going across state lines for prostitution purposes by threatening them or forcing them or intimidating them, harassing them, beating them up. Uh, Human trafficking. They've called his. They say they're trying to get him on RICO charges, racketeering. They say he got an ongoing criminal enterprise, kind of like somebody else we know, huh? Ongoing criminal enterprise. They've called his the Combs. Oh Lord, I said it earlier today. They've already labeled it in the federal document. The Combs. Let me look it up. Hold on. Instead of me just shooting from the hip, let me look it up. How y'all doing? I can't flip it. It's on my phone, but if any one of the moderators remember in the group chat what they said he called it earlier, I put it in there. They labeled his ongoing criminal enterprise in the indictment, the Combs, I don't want to say program or something like that, the Combs project, or whatever it was. It was something with his name in it. That's what they naming his RICO. Yeah, they're looking at they looking very heavily at the Biggie thing and definitely Tupac because that guy that they got arrested for killing Tupac, he said that he got paid by Combs. So he can pop because they say he gave him $1 million, and that's been out there for years, but now it looks like it's gonna take on some legs. So we shall see. We shall see what's gonna happen. It's crazy. But the Combs, I always thought he had something to do with both of them, Biggie and Tupac. Biggie, because Biggie was about to leave the record label because he realized that Puffy was not paying him, and Puffy had the rights to his masters, and he was about to leave and sign a big lucrative deal with another record label, and then he gets shot. So, yeah, go figure. That's crazy. Go figure, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what they got him. They got him lock, stock, and barrel. And then that guy said, hey, KVD said they gave him $1 million through this other person. He had to go between so it wouldn't be coming directly from Puffy, but all they do trade the guy that gave the money, now he's dead. So only person living that had something to do with Tupac's murder is KVD and Puffy, and somehow he got to connect the dots. But if they got the right people connecting the dots, it won't be a problem. This guy's sinister. I never realized that until I was up early this morning and I heard some of the stuff he's accused of. It's a lot worse than what we thought. I thought it was just, when they said some of these women, well, I'm using the term women, they were underage. So they were underage girls. And some of them were transported across state lines because you got private jets. You look up that little girl might be in Miami today, LA tomorrow, New York, back and forth. And or you in LA and then they hop in a limousine or whatever, and or hop in a private jet, fly from LA to Vegas. That's across state lines. Even though prostitution is legal in Vegas, it's still illegal to take an underage girl for those purposes. The Combs Enterprise, that's what I put. That's what the feds have labeled this. The Combs Enterprise. The Combs Enterprise. The Combs Enterprise. That's what they labeled his ongoing criminal enterprise. The Combs Enterprise. And when the feds come get you, they have a 95% conviction rate. So as I told Lynn, and Lynn likes to laugh at me, I said, when they put up United States versus you, that means every resource they got from sea to shining sea, They coming to get you. This ain't state of whatever versus Daryl Moore. United States government versus Daryl Moore. That means they're coming to get me with all the resources of the federal government. That means the people in Washington, D.C. are coming to get me. They are out to get me. That's what that means. They're out to get me. They're not playing. They're not playing at all. They're out to get me. And that's the document his attorney looking at right now. He's sitting at the table in his jumpsuit. And it says United States versus Combs. U.S. v. Combs. And later on today, I plan to pull up that document. I'm going to go live again this afternoon at about 7-ish, 7 o'clock. And we're going to talk about United States versus Combs. And going to talk about this craziness that Donald Trump did down there in doggone Springfield, Ohio, which is about an hour or so from where his vice presidential candidate grew up. And by the way, his vice president candidate grew up in the poorest city in the state of Ohio. He grew up white, poor white trash. Yes, he did. I can't stress to you how serious this situation is with Combs. This man is in a lot of trouble. And when I say lot of trouble, he is in a lot of trouble. Oh my gosh. I mean, I would not want to be, see, money can't save him. I would not want to be Sean Combs. I would not want to be Sean Combs. That is for damn sure. I would not want to be that man. I definitely wouldn't want to be that man. He is going down, 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 down. I posted a post on Facebook about the $1,000 of baby oil and lubricant. They said that post goes against their community standards. You are full of shit, Facebook. No. And they said I tried to get, request review. I'm so sick of them. Facebook cybersecurity removed my post. Trump coming to Alabama. Okay. He better not come to Alabama versus Georgia game. Okay, he's going out there he wants to. He's going to be in for a special surprise. Mm-mm-mm. He ain't going. He is going to prison, y'all. God dang it! I wouldn't want to be him. Nobody. I don't want no parts of that. But I was trying to bring up on the CNN app, but my internet keeps crashing because they coming to fix it. But now it's back on, so I'm gonna see if I can look. But I'm not gonna stay on this phone. They want to film up. For those of you just coming in, please click like and share. They are offering so that he can get out of jail. His attorneys are offering a $50 million bond, which means they saying they'll put up his Miami property as the bond for him to get out. He'll be on a house arrest and wear an ankle monitor. The feds don't want him to have bond at all because they say he's a flight risk. I agree, and he's violent. He needs to stay behind bars. He's violent. He has the means. He could, with his money, he could round up a posse of jokers who do some serious damage. We are talking about, him with his money. So he has to. I mean, this is serious. I don't know. I don't know what make him think he's not a threat to society. He is. He's a threat to society. Oh, I stand corrected. No, his money ain't gonna get him out. Combs, CNN 14 minutes ago said Combs is still a flight risk. Prosecutors argue, even though he's trying to sell a house and a plane. So he's cash strapped. Because remember all the stuff he had, all the deals he had, and people start backing out on him when it came out about the abuse. What was that TV network he had? Revolt TV. I think that was it. Was it Revolt TV? I can't think of the name of that network he had. Wasn't it Revolt? He lost that. He lost partnerships with clothing lines and liquor lines, brands. I mean, he just lost everything. That's a rock thing. He lost that. Sean Diddy Combs is trying to sell his house in Los Angeles and his plane, but federal prosecutors argue he still should be kept in custody while the racketeering and sex trafficking case against him proceeds. The prosecutors filed a letter outlining that Combs has access to dozens of bank accounts and some personal and many under corporate entities, which contain millions of dollars. The letter also said Combs has owned a personal plane since 2019, as well as multiple vehicles in various locations. Yeah, if he's smart, he put everything in his mama's name. But they're watching her too. They said the defendant's vast resources make him a flight risk even without a passport, private plane, or multiple residence. Yeah, because he can just disappear. He can just dip. Combs' defense attorney proposed to put him on home detention with a $50 million bond secured by his Miami residence. Prosecutors argued in the detention letter that was plainly insufficient. They think he's a guy. The hell, they didn't even do John Gotti like this and Sammy Bulgavano, and they killed people. So I don't know what's up, but they got it in for him. They got it in for him for real. They say he supplied during freak off parties. He supplied people with drugs to get them high to do it, and then keep them high so they would keep doing it, and he would watch. You're right, Patsy. All of that happened when he sued Cavassier or the liquor company. Yeah, that's right. Let's go over the charges again. He was taken into custody by Homeland Security. They ain't the only somebody we know going to be getting picked up by Homeland Security or the Department of Justice or the Internal Revenue Service. Somebody coming. They unsealed his indictment this morning. The charges. The U.S. Attorney for Southern District of New York, racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and interstate transportation for prostitution between the year 2018 and now. 16 years of this. He's been out here. He's accused of doing this for over 16 years. You know, they say this. So basically, this happened when R. Kelly's first time, big time with his case back in 2008, around the same time. Combs allegedly gave victims a series of party drugs during extended sex performances he called freak-offs. Combs planned and controlled the sex performances and often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs supplied to keep them obedient and compliant. Ketamine is a very powerful sedative used on animals, horses, large animals, horses and livestock. Ketamine. Yep. This is crazy. Exactly, Jackman. They sure will. This is crazy. Combs inflicted injuries that took days or weeks to heal on victims. Combs is accused of kicking, dragging, and throwing a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel. That's Cassie. And attempting to flee. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Mm. I am so sorry. Somebody tried to call and it interrupted my live feed, but I'm not going to hold you much longer anyway. But I want to get over to again. I've said that they've already sought to um, detain him. In fact, in 27 minutes, he will be entering a courtroom at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to get off here so y'all can go tune to CNN because you know they're going to carry it live. I don't know if they have cameras in the courtroom. I doubt it, but they're definitely going to be outside the courthouse. But yeah, that's what's going on with him. He is they fighting for no bond. They don't want him to have a bond. They don't want him out on any condition. They want him to stay in until trial. Um, he's a flight risk in their opinion. His lawyer's gonna argue otherwise. We're gonna see what they decide. How many? If you think he's gonna get a bond, put a 1 in the chat. If not, put 2. I'm saying 2. I'm saying they're gonna hold him. I don't think he's gonna get out on the street because they went through too much and they spent too much money when they raided his LA house and his Florida house at the same time. I think they spent too much money and too many resources for him to be out on the street on bond. I don't think he's getting a bond. Kevin Lau stepped down. What? He stepped down from what? Are you serious? That is very telling. That is very telling. What? Wow. Wow. Diddy's lawyers say that he's been cooperative, but the U.S. attorneys disagree. Guns and 1,000 bottles of lubricant seized by authorities in his house. He's allowed. He's allowed to carry guns. He's not a convicted felon, so that's not an issue having guns in the house. And having 1,000 bottles of lubricant, that's not against the law either. But what is the drugs and the videos of people against their will in impaired states. You're right, Felix. But they're gonna make an example out of Diddy. He had minors. He's accused of dealing. He's innocent. Let's lay it out there. He's innocent until proven guilty. Yes, Christine. 1,000 bottles of lubricant, baby oil and lubricant, was seized in his house. I'm looking at the picture right here. In fact, let me see. No, I can't flip the camera around on this one. But if you see right there, Guns and 1,000 bottles of lubricant seized by authorities, U.S. Attorney says. So, yeah, he's a bad boy, for real. They say these cases and cases of baby oil and all kinds of lubricant. And of course, they say he used other people to facilitate and cover up what he was doing, his abuse. So, and the feds have already let it be known. They said, "Bro, Johnson, Christine, if you don't stop." They saying we are not done. The investigation is ongoing. That means more people are going to jail, more people are going to get picked up. And when they start doing that, more and more people are going to start flipping. Because that white kid that they caught, that kid is from here. And he was Diddy's drug mule. He was the one that supplied all them drugs I've read off. He was the one that would go get those drugs for Diddy. That was his job. And he told. And he copped a plea deal. He got him a lawyer. He lawyered up quick. When they first raided, he was the first one to lawyer up. Because they put the squeeze on him. He looked little 20-something-year-old kid. He wasn't gonna do no hard time. Because he was facing long years because he was a drug courier. No, I didn't say that he put in, somebody in the chat said that he probably put stuff in his mama's name. Rich people like that, they do things that's called revocable, I can never say that word, revocable trust. When they set up these corporations, they never have anything in their personal name other than spending money, you know. But whenever they have their stuff tied up in their business. So if you sue them, you ain't gonna get nothing. You got to sue the company. Then the company will just file bankruptcy and you never get your money anyway. Yeah, that's the word. I can never say that. Anyway, what Felix said down there, I can never. That word just ties me up. Irrevocable trust. Irrevocable trust. I'm gonna just practice that word all day tomorrow. Who knows, man? Who knows why he was so evil? I was talking earlier. When people get rich like that and they already have a sinister nature before the money comes, that money just enhances their evil, their level of evil. I'm not saying he did or didn't do it, but I'm leaning towards him being guilty. Based on the violence that I saw against that woman in that video, I don't put nothing past him. I don't. I believe everything they said. I believe everything they said about him. I believe he did it, and he figured it. But see, here's the thing. He can't do nothing in the music or entertainment industry without the approval of the powers that be, the higher ups above him. And as long as he made them money and made them look good and had them living a good life, they looked the other way. They let him do what he wanted to do. But now that he's got caught, they're going to wipe their hands of it. Who do you know that's connected to him, that was connected to Whitney Houston? And I'm trying to think of somebody else. Who's the big person in the record industry? Clive Davis. Clive Davis was his mentor. Clive Davis, y'all. Clive Davis. Clive Davis. Everybody that has crossed Clive Davis, what happened to him? Is it still breathing? I'll wait. But yeah, y'all gone because I'm gonna go get me a good seat because I want to see what they're gonna do with him. But I just want to talk. I will be back this afternoon. I don't know if I'm gonna do it at 7 or 8 o'clock, but I'll make up my mind after I see what's going on with this press conference. So I'm gonna do the thumbnail. I already got the thumbnail done. Just gotta put it up on StreamYard, and I'll let you know because I'm gonna come back and talk about this whole Trump getting shot at. Uh, two people that took shots at him in less than 6 months, and he's still breathing. And then he wants to say that it's the Democrats' fault. He's the only ex-president I know that's had somebody take a shot at him. Reagan got shot while he was in office. Yeah, anytime that he figure he behind in the polls and he needs the sympathy vote, oh, somebody shot me. He ain't got a mark on his ear. And this guy was hiding out in the bushes on the edge of his golf course in a bright pink shirt, and nobody saw him. And he was there for 12 hours. Why the eye? Exactly, Fizz. They took Tariq Hill down quicker than they would that guy. That guy was allowed to surrender. He didn't get shot. He didn't get beat. Nothing. Don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining. I was born at night, not last night. That was staged. That was staged. But y'all be good. I'll see y'all later tonight for another show. Thank you for coming. If you haven't done so already, please click like and share. And if you feel so led by the Spirit, I'd appreciate a cash out. Thank you. I'll see you later. Y'all be good.